Hi, I'm Beverley, and I'm an acrylic artist. I began painting back since I was a kid. My father and I used to paint together, and it started my journey. And when I moved to Arizona, which was 20 years ago, I started a decorative painting company, and it's where I learned a lot of my techniques. So in my paintings, I have a lot of gilding, I have a lot of layers. So I'm doing a gilding technique right now, and I'm using actual gold leaf. You can use metallic paints, although there's nothing like gold leaf. I trained on how to use gold leaf, and it's a very technical process. It's very thin, but when you put it on a painting or on a surface and you burnish it, there's nothing else like it. For the light reflective value, you get such a high sheen, so I incorporate it into a lot of my pieces. And working in big homes here in Scottsdale, I developed hundreds of techniques. And so after about 2005, those techniques went from being in houses to being on canvases, and my art has evolved from there. This is my first year in celebration of art, and it's a great opportunity to meet other artists, and I've got to know a lot of my collectors, which is really fun because working with designers and just selling art, I don't actually know where my art is going, but being here I get to connect with people. And that's really important because I'm very passionate when I'm painting, and I want to know who's collecting that, and I think people resonate with that energy, and it's important to know who that is. I think of butterflies as very metaphysical creatures. They don't have a very long lifespan, and I did a diptych of a yellow swallowtail because I do think that butterflies are some sort of sign from a higher power. And when I was going through some struggles and growing pains in life about, maybe like 18 years ago, I had a spiritual experience with a yellow swallowtail, and it's always resonated with my soul. So I painted one of my first butterflies for two reasons. For that reason, and because my son didn't think that I could paint physical, like real things. He thought I could only do abstract paintings, and he was really little. So I said, Mom's gonna paint a butterfly for you. And both my children were like, oh, Mom, you know how to paint something that's not abstract. So now I think they have a little more respect for my art because they can see the wide range. But yeah, butterflies are definitely a spiritual thing for me. So this is my sequential painting. It was quite a struggle for me. I've been here for 20 years. I grew up in New York, and I grew up on Long Island, so I was always surrounded by the water. So when I moved to Arizona, I was painting and I collected a lot of different ocean type art. When I came here, I kept painting the ocean, and it didn't really resonate with the desert, but I didn't know how to incorporate the desert into my paintings. And this month I actually just hit 20 years in Arizona, so I've tied with New York, and this painting is a great representation of the bridging of the gap of the two. So you will see land forms in here. You can kind of see there's rolling hills, mountains, but then if you look a little closer, you'll see waves flowing and lapping at your feet, river water with rocks, and sunset. So I've managed to bridge the gap between land and sea, and this piece is a great representation. Another thing about this show that it's taught me is we never arrive, so we're constantly evolving, and I think I've finally figured out my subject matter is a little bit of the East Coast and a little bit of the desert, but a lot of my pieces reflect both desert and water. We're here at Celebration of Art until March 31st. There's only 2 weeks left, so make sure you get down here. We're right at Hayden and the 101, the big white tents, and we're open every day from 10 to 6. There's over 100 artists. There's nothing like this show. I'm doing this show because I was absolutely blown away, and I only recently came to the show, so don't be one of those people. Come down, check it out. You'll find something you love, I guarantee it. And if you want to contact me, you can go to my website at Beverley Wolter. That's Beverley, and Wolter is WOLTER.com.
This was brought to you by Phoenix Art Care. They provide artwork framing and canvas prints.